Hello, this is Lucas Amory again, interviewing for the Beethoven Sonata project as part of the H.O.P.E initiative. Today we'll be doing Beethoven's Opus 10 No. 3 Sonata in D major. This sonata is definitely one of Beethoven's much more energetic, and it's very fresh and lively. Barring the exception of the second movement is very slow and very tragic, very dark stuff, especially for early Beethoven. Definitely among young concert pianists, such as teenagers, I would say this sonata is one of the most popular, and you're bound to see it at many a competition. Today you'll be hearing from 3 different interviewees. I haven't heard their performances yet, but I'm sure they're fantastic. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful, thanks. How are you?
I'm great.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful, thanks. How are you?
I'm great.
These questions were compiled by the H.O.P.E interview team. A lot of these questions were also written by some other people. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. I'm wonderful. So, what's your name? How old are you? Yeah.
Hi.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. Say your name, how old you are, the number of years you've been playing piano, and where you're from, and any other fun facts.
Hi, my name is Nicole Wang. I am 16 years old and I'm a rising junior in high school. I am from Sammamish, Washington, which is outside Seattle. I've been studying piano since I was 5, so about 11 years now. I'm currently studying with Dr. Nino Mirabishvili. Besides playing piano, I like exploring music on Spotify and watching Netflix, as well as hiking. I like boba and ice cream, so yeah.
Fantastic. Love that.
I also play cello in my school orchestra, and I'm the principal cellist.
My name is Alena. I'm 17 years old, and I've been playing piano since I was 5, so I'm rounding up my 12th year, and I'm from Potomac, Maryland. In my free time, I like to write sometimes. I like to bake. It's something that I picked up during quarantine.
Hi, I'm Ami, and I'm 17. I've been playing piano for 13 years, I think, and I'm from Plano, Texas. Oh, I play flute in my high school, and then I also dance.
How did you become part of H.O.P.E?
I saw the Instagram account, and I was interested, and I thought it's that I can contribute well to it.
Mm-hmm. Was there any particular video that caught your eye?
I think it was the first video, it was the Beethoven thing, and I thought it was fun to do, to learn and explore new music.
Well, I actually had a friend who was in the original group chat, Nancy, and we became friends at Tanglewood, and so she introduced me to this, and I was like, wow, I watched the Beethoven, the Pathétique video, and I was like, well, this is a great idea to connect with so many pianists from everywhere, so I decided to join.
I saw someone's post on Instagram, and I was like, oh, what is this? And yeah, I just joined it. Beethoven Sonata. It was the second movement, or
yeah, the Pathétique.
It was the first video.
Right, yeah. Gotcha. Everyone joined after that, I swear. As you know, we've all been stuck in quarantine for quite some time now, and how do you say this shift in schedule has altered your work habits with piano practice or other extracurriculars?
Well, I think I'm doing surprisingly well because I'm able to find more flexibility in my schedule. I have that I'm able to fit in more time to my practice, but I will say that I'm less motivated because there's not really much to do.
Absolutely.
So when I get bored during my practice, I try to listen to videos. I'm also doing SAT practice and studying, and I'm trying to get ahead on some of my schoolwork.
That's smart.
I feel like I have more time to do stuff now, which also means more time to procrastinate, but also I feel like it's a bit hard to stay motivated considering everything's getting canceled and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it also gives me more time to reflect on how to do things more efficiently. So I've had time to practice more, but also I don't know if I'm using that time to the best of what it is, but I try.
I obviously have more time to practice, right? And I get to, have a family time, I think. It's really great.
So which movement will you be contributing today?
I will be doing the first movement of this sonata.
I played the fourth movement.
I'm on third movement.
How long have you been working on this?
I actually played this like more than 3 years ago, and like at the time of this recording that I sent in, I learned it for at least 2 months.
I actually picked this up like right when quarantine started.
Nice.
So it was like a nice thing to learn throughout like April to May.
Like 3 months, I think.
So could you give me some context for the movement? If, let's say, I'm a first-time listener, I don't know anything about the sonata, what would you say is something to look out for? Like, what's the character of the first movement and the main themes?
So I feel like this is like a really fun and like lively like sonata movement. Like there's like so many different moods in it, and it starts out like really like lively, but it's like really quiet. And then there's like a lyrical part, and then there's always obviously like the loud part. I feel like what's really challenging about like this movement is that like you have to like be able to control. You have to have a lot of control, like especially if you're playing like Beethoven, because there's so many moods and you have to like switch your moods right away. Being able to balance like all these like dynamics to like create the right effect for like the mood that you're presenting in this movement. So yeah.
You definitely have to be like quick on your feet. You have to be able to bring out the contrasts.
Well, this movement, I think it's like very like humorous, like in my like taste. I feel like Beethoven, like he starts off with these 3 notes, like da da da, like in that pattern, and then there's like an interruption, and then they repeat it again, and it's kind of like almost like someone's trying to like understand something or like ask a question, but like they can't really figure it out until like it resolves later on, and then you go back to this like kind of humorous, just those 3 notes over and over again. And then the piece kind of just starts in like a typical Beethoven style. So I think what was difficult for me in terms of like this movement was making sure that I'm not rushing the break. And maybe like I still kind of do, if you can hear in the recording, but like the pause in between the 3 notes, I feel like it's really important because it emphasizes like the humorous side, but also like you have to stick to the rhythm. So like I think rhythm is a big factor in this movement, well, in any Beethoven piece. But you also have like the classic Alberti bass in the left hand. And I just think it's like a really fun movement because it's like humorous, but also technically like you have to work on some passages, and yeah.
So the third movement is marked as Allegro Dolce. It's a menuetto and a trio, and overall it's a beautiful and calm and light piece, I think. And my favorite part is the menuetto melody because it's really catchy and it's just beautiful, you know. The trio section, I think it's like more difficult or like technical piece comparing to menuetto. Yeah, and the right hand has triplets constantly, and the difficult part is lining those right hand and left hand up and balancing those out, I think. Yeah.
You have to do some, if I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but you have to do some like hand crossings, right?
Yeah.
Do you have that's
Because
kind of
the
tricky.
left hand has the melody and we just cross.
I see. That's hard. Yeah.
I know.
Almost every Beethoven sonata breaks the classical sonata mold in some way or another. In what way do you think this sonata does that?
There's like more like expressive parts to it. Like in like Haydn and Mozart, I feel like it's like more like there's like not as much like the romantic parts of it. Like Beethoven is like really expressive, and he used like the entire keyboard to show like the character of like the piece and so on. I feel like Beethoven's like more like, I guess like more daring in a way.
Well, first of all, it has 4 movements, which is something that I guess was kind of unique at the time. Because Beethoven's earlier sonatas, he drew inspiration from like Haydn and Mozart. So like, I think in general, like I wouldn't say the structure, but the rhythm is kind of peculiar at some points. It's not like standard repertoire, like just time like that. So I feel like that's what's unique about it.
So several of Beethoven's sonatas have often well-known nicknames that accompany them. For example, Moonlight, Tempest Appassionata. Many of these nicknames were not directly given to the pieces by the composer himself. And in accordance with that, if you could provide a nickname for this sonata, what would it be?
I have to think of it.
It's fun.
I've never really thought of that before.
What kind of question is that?
Wait, this is actually a hard question.
Maybe, I don't know if this is appropriate, but maybe like kangaroo or something.
Wait, what?
Kangaroo?
Kangaroo? Sure, that's a great name for a sonata right there.
If you think about it in a whole, like, the second movement is so different from, like, in character, I mean, from, like, the first and the third and the fourth.
It's something that sort of goes throughout phases, like something that is happy on the outside, but then, like, there's some inner sort of emotional turmoil. Bipolar sonata, I don't know.
Yeah. Bipolar sonata. That actually makes sense.
Wait, like, what? Are you fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, great.
The bipolar sonata.
Have you had any memorable performances or other experiences when playing this sonata?
Oh, I've actually like learned this for like a specific competition. Like it took me, like I learned in a short amount of time, but like what I remember is that like one thing that I kind of struggle with is like keeping like the tempo steady, like not getting like too like romantic or whatever, because like I like for me like I guess like in a way my composer is kind of like Chopin, so like I have to like kind of like control myself in addition to like showing all of the emotions. So I guess that was one memorable part. I have to remember to like control myself because this is somewhat classical, but at the same time like show the romantic like parts of him.
Yeah, definitely. Everything you've been saying so far sort of points to a balance between expressivity and restraint. So
yes.
Definitely, I think that is very important in Beethoven.
I actually played it in one of the competition, Weatherford competition. It was in May.
Has your teacher provided any especially helpful and unique tips about playing this Beethoven?
She's always telling me to like remember about contrast, because like Beethoven's all about contrast. Like you have to like be able to like switch your mind, like from like lyrical, like quiet or staccato or whatever, to like loud, like his like two really loud forte, like I guess like angry parts. So I have to be mindful of the contrast.
I feel like a good thing to have like when you're playing Beethoven is like kind of like you have to feel a pulse like throughout the piece. Like you don't really, it's not like you're accenting like certain notes, but like just to have that kind of feel so that you don't lose tempo or like with the rhythm issue that I was talking about. Especially in the fourth movement, you want to have like this kind of thing this drive that keeps you going. Otherwise it's kind of just like flat and you get stuck sometimes.
Yeah, on the trio section, she told me to switch the hands. So like the left hand play the right part and the right hand plays the left part. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really helpful, and I'm using that method to like other pieces too, and it works, I think, for me at least.
If classical composers were to listen to modern day pop music, do you think they would like it, and what aspects do you think they would like, dislike? Obviously this depends on like which composer you're talking about, so if you just want to go ahead and list a few examples, give a guess.
Classical like composers like might like pop music in the way that it's always like in tempo, like you know, like when pop musicians, they always have like a beat or something, like they're like really steady. There's not really much like rubato in a sense, like because they always have like a click track. So I think like Beethoven would like the variety in like the pop music.
Well, modern like pop music. It's very centered around like certain chords. They would probably have to get used to it to understand, like, because it's kind of the culture of like our generation. They probably wouldn't like a lot of the lyrics in terms of like the more explicit songs, but
Yeah.
I don't really know.
It's fine. It's a hard question.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, for the last person I brought up, like the idea that there's a sort of folk music idiom that composers like to use a lot, and that's sort of like a music for the masses. So I'm wondering if they would, like Beethoven, for example, he would like to incorporate possibly, I don't know, like Ariana Grande, Seven Rings, like into like a new sonata of his if he lived today.
I feel like, I don't know, it's probably like a good thing for them to just be exposed to, just like, oh, there's this side of music. But if they would like it or not, I don't really know.
Right.
Like the pop music, like if you think about chord progression, it's like really made up easy, and you know, it's really catchy. Like the melody and chord progression, it's really catchy, and I like it, but I don't know if it's I don't know if they're gonna like it.
If you could have lunch with any musician or composer, alive or not, who would you choose and why?
Oh, this is actually a good question.
Wow, these questions are very unique.
I would like to have lunch with Rachmaninoff because, okay, I played like his second concerto, and like a lot of people say that like he's kind of like he's kind of crazy, but I wonder like what he's really thinking, like what's his like thought process through like the music that he creates, and I think it would be cool to like see things from his perspective.
Maybe Liszt, because I've played quite a lot of Liszt's music, and I feel like his he likes to write a lot of like transcriptions, and like I feel like it'd be nice to just sit down and talk with him about different kinds of music, different pieces, and stuff like that.
I would be having lunch with Schumann, actually.
Schumann?
Yeah. I'm learning this, you know, how do you pronounce it? Abeg?
Abeg Variations.
Yeah, that one. I'm learning that piece right now, and I just found out that Abeg is spelled out Abegg, right?
Right.
And the melody is Abegg.
Yeah. No.
It's like Abegg. Yeah.
Well, are there any last details you'd like to provide before we end this interview?
H.O.P.E is doing a great job, and I really enjoy this.
Have a good day, everyone.
High five. Thank you so much for being on here, and have a really wonderful day. Okay.
It's my pleasure.
I'll see you around.
All right. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
I'll see you around.
Bye. Okay. Bye. Thank you.